This trial was seeded on September 21st. This trial has four different varieties and two fertility treatments. I will ask Elmer to talk about those different fertility treatments. And you might want to also touch why we are testing those treatments here.
Thanks, Nirmal. So what we found with winter wheat is historically producers have implemented their spring wheat fertility program onto their winter wheat. And with a lot of these winter wheat varieties, they have tremendous yield potential. Under irrigation in southern Alberta, they've yielded in the 130, 135 bushels per acre. So we feel that with a proper balanced fertility program, that we should be able to achieve winter wheat yields in the 100 bushels per acre under dryland conditions. So what we proposed was looking at a balanced fertility program to be implemented, and we're comparing that to the producer's traditional uh, uh, fertility program that they typically would have used on their spring wheat. And when I say balanced fertility program, what we're talking about is making sure that all the nutrients are in balance with the nitrogen that we're applying. So that means looking at the phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, basically all the macros to make sure they're in proper balance. So the field was sampled ahead of time, and a recommendation was made based on a Western Ag fertility analysis, soil analysis, and with that it was compared to the producer practice. And what we're finding is that with the producer or the balanced fertility program, we were getting better nitrogen use efficiency with the nitrogen being applied. And what that means is that it looks like we're possibly able to get away with even lower rates of nitrogen as long as the other nutrients are in proper balance. A good example is potassium. Potassium is taken up in lockstep with nitrogen. And it's important in that winter wheat crop differs from spring wheat in that winter wheat basically has to go through that uh, seedling emergence and seedling stage twice. And it's usually doing that under drier, cooler soil conditions. Nutrients like phosphorus and potassium are not as readily available under those types of soil conditions. So having adequate levels of phosphorus and potassium uh, right close to the rooting zone of the winter wheat plant is critical. So if those nutrients aren't applied or aren't in proper balance with the rest, with the nitrogen being applied, then we can see yields being curtailed. And I think results to date have shown that the balance program is coming out ahead. We still haven't attained our 100 bushels per acre, but that also takes a bit of cooperation from Mother Nature.
This is the third year we are testing these two fertility treatments here. And what I remember from last year, yeah, the balanced one was better than the producer treatment. But you might want to touch how it did, like how it was on the other centers. So you have seen overall the balanced was better than the producer one?
Yes, and that's what we've seen consistently across all the diversification centers, Normal, is that the balanced fertility program seems to be providing an overall benefit. And I think a lot of it is to deal with the fact that we've had some cool, dry springs, and having that level of phosphorus and potassium there for that winter wheat crop, right close in the rooting zone for the winter wheat crop is making a difference. And I think, hopefully if we can get some better spring rains, we can maybe get that winter wheat crop off to a better start. What we've seen over the last couple of years is we've just been too dry through much of May and early June, and that's curtailed the yield somewhat. But I certainly still think that the potential is there for on our producer demos out that we're taking this information and we're working with it with producers out in the field. Yeah. And last year we were seeing winter wheat yields of both Gold Rush and Wildfire in that 75 to 80 bushel range.
Yeah, actually, that was my next question to you. So, have you seen any varietal or fertility interaction from other centers?
Those two varieties, Gold Rush and Wildfire, do seem to be pushing the envelope, and we're certainly we're right close to getting to that next level of yield plateau for those varieties. So I think there's some definite potential there. I think with varieties like Gateway and Emerson, they seem to stall out in that 70 to 75 bushel range, but with Gold Rush and Wildfire, we were in that 75 to 80, and again, I just needed one or two more rains, and I think we could have even been a bit higher than that. So,
And this year we have four different varieties
right,
testing under two different levels.
right. I believe we got Wildfire, Gateway, Gold Rush, and Elevate.
Okay.
Right.